Thank you very much for watching. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Wiafe. Now to a very fair story. The Yuletide has finally ended with lots of businesses cashing in on the festivity to make some gains. The inception of 2018 last night was perhaps the last opportunity for some traders and dealers to take advantage. Naturally, the New Year holiday is seen as a day for resting and is normally devoid of brisk business activities. However, on this particular holiday, the story is quite different at some parts of the busy Kwame Nkrumah circle.
It's the 1st of January 2018, a Monday and a holiday. It's typical to see shops and businesses closed on a holiday such as this. But here at the Kwame Nkrumah circle, to be precise, the Tiptoe Lane, some shops and businesses are open, and for them they define all odds to make some sales. The streets are empty with only a handful of pedestrians and motorists. But this does not deter some shop owners in some parts of the capital to run their businesses normally. Generally, businesses slow on holidays as schools and many organizations do not open for regular activities. At the Kwame Nkrumah circle, some traders were seen undertaking their business normally at the Tiptoe Lane, as if there was no holiday. Clothing, electricals, consumables and barbering services were some businesses opened to the public. Some traders who spoke off record admitted that they only opened their shops for business because the shops are located close to their residences. 24-year-old Ebuka is a dealer in phone accessory.
We opened today because last week, Saturday, our goods just came from China. So we are coming here to arrange our goods today, that is Monday. Because if we didn't arrange it today, by tomorrow there will be a lot of distraction for us. So that's why we are here today, to pack some things. Since we have been packing, people have been asking us to come in to buy something. We have been selling. So, but we didn't mean to come to sell to them. But since we are already open, so there's a lot of customers we know. They have been coming and going.
Although business is not so vibrant today, Ebuka is hopeful to make some profits by the end of the day.
The market is still cool, but we thank God that we are selling small.
So now that you've seen that people are coming in, even though you didn't intend to sell, what do you intend to make by the end of the day? How much do you think you should be able to gather by the end of the day?
Like maybe at the end of the day, we get like 5 million, 6 million, no matter if I can, but I'm expecting like 5 million, 6 million at the end of today.
It may be a holiday for everybody else, but for some traders at the Kwame Nkrumah circle, business still goes on. Reporting for Joy Business, Karen Dodo.
Now, still in the seasonal mood, they share the same compound with a pub, but for years, the House of Parliament Chapel International, formerly called Freedom Chapel, and the Oyinka Sport have coexisted. As many people marked the crossing over into the new year last night, JoyNews' Komla Adom interacted with the owner of the pub, who narrates how festivities like these impact on her business.
In 45 minutes exactly, the pub is going to be full to capacity with individuals moving right from here to the pub just to mark the crossing over into the new year. So we are currently in the Oyinka Sports, and I'm told that there are hundreds of drinks that have already been stocked in freezers, expecting the hundreds of people who will be leaving the churches to come and celebrate the passing over or the crossing over here. And Madam Oyinka here will tell me a bit more. Me patron na o kase drinks no what's stock freezing pa.
Patron drinks we ice chests we contain more than 30 crates. Ni na besa after 12 o'clock.
Me who soft drinks kakra, me who Guinness kakra, me who other minerals. Since you say ni na besa in you.
Patron ye o mom nom soft drink and e mom nom alcohol no so. To be about obenya ne de.
Na me who other fridges 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, my feeling no so more than you bet me at on 70 crates after 12. Nina besa.
How many drinks now?
It take 17 crates.
And a Coca-Cola,
and also 15. When you soft drink, then man, and a club products and so no. Nina besa.
Now all catch me say customers maybe buy or more soft, maybe buy or more hard. Now also so now catch me say a bit more mobile or more boot too much I own toy you know.
Some now what limit there mean to
But the customers, they say customers are always right too.
By and yes, I may tone sent no member what say near man as a baby. Me who say what body men ton mount.
Now, when your instance be waha a man for about my boana or moon to me and coffee and no moon to me your hoshe.
Oh, it's undisciplined hunting, Obia mo, sir, Obia coffee.
You just heard that Madame Oyinka. She's simply been briefing us on the quantities of minerals, soft and hard, she's had in stock, expecting the hundreds of individuals who will be leaving the various churches at midnight to come and then have fun here for crossing over into the new year.
Right, so that's exactly what happened in parts of Accra last night. Meanwhile, some business operators and dealers in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, are disappointed at the volume of sales on the last day of 2017. Their expectation for a pickup in business fizzled out as patronage did as a result of a slowdown in activities at the central business district of Kumasi. Prince Appiah monitored the trend throughout the day and has come through with this report.
The usual buzzing 31st December here in the Kumasi metropolis was kind of absent because there were not so much activities in the morning. Obviously, it was because it was a Sunday. Now, in the central business district, for instance, that usually had a lot of business activities, was very slow because few businesses opened their shops. Now, those who opened rather had low patronage of the goods and services they were giving out. One other business that is synonymous to the 31st December celebration is those who sell firecrackers. This time round, the business is slow for most of them. The few we spoke to tell us that because of the obvious warning by the police over the use of firecrackers affected a lot of people patronizing their product. So business was really bad. Because the police announced the ban on firecrackers, the selling is very difficult. Last year by this time, I had sold about 600 cedis just in the night. But now, I'm struggling to sell even 50 cedis. For those of us who sell guns, I think because of the ban, it has also affected us. This time round, parents are not buying the guns for their children. Business is really slow. Now, what really went well for a lot of people, especially transport operators, were in the evening where it was time for people to move to their churches. Now, there were a lot of movement, therefore, so a lot of businesses, a lot of operators had people to board their vehicles and they cash in at the 11th hour of the 31st night celebration. Now, after the celebration, it was expected that pubs would be open to usher in those who have left off from their churches, those who didn't go to church to celebrate. But that's at 1:30 that the team went out to check. We realized that most of the businesses, the pubs, were either closing down or preparing to close their shops for the day. So the 31st December celebration throughout was not as expected by the businesses here in the metropolis. My name is Prince Appiah, reporting.
Let's also stay a little longer in Kumasi. And head pastor of the Calvary Charismatic Church, CCC, has admonished small-scale miners to cooperate with government to address challenges within the environment. Pastor Ransford Obeng said the miners should put the interests of Ghanaians first at the expense of their businesses. He spoke with Love Business at the Calvary Charismatic Church during the Wash Night service held last night.
The issue of illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, was very predominant in 2017, with concerns boiling around the destruction of water bodies and environment. At the 31st night celebration in Kumasi, head pastor of Calvary Charismatic Church, Pastor Ransford Obeng, admonished the small-scale miners to be cooperative with government to ensure our environment is protected.
I think what I will advise both the miners and the government is that they should cooperate with the government, because I believe the government has a better plan for Ghana. They should not only think about only their interests, but we should think Ghana as a whole. And I think they have a better plan for them. And so they should cooperate with the government so that that better agenda can be fulfilled.
He believes the year 2018 will be a better year than 2017. He also advised Ghanaians to be less overly reliant on government for their needs. He encourages people to trust the Lord for lasting fulfillment, especially in their businesses.
We have entered into 2018. What I'm encouraging Ghanaians is that I feel strongly in my spirit that this year is going to be better than last year. God is going to visit Ghana. And so Ghanaians should keep praying and keep trusting God and believing God that God has something good for this country.
Prince Apia reporting.
Now, the mayor of Kumasi, Osei SCB Entry, is urging taxpayers to fulfill their obligations to city authorities to help drive its development agenda. He says the assembly will ensure its workers abide by rules and regulations and uphold high working standards in 2018. Mr. Osei SCB Entry spoke during visits to selected churches in Kumasi for watch night services.
City Mayor Osei SCB Entry and his team visited 4 different churches on the night of 31st December 2017. According to him, his resolution for the year 2018 includes urging taxpayers to fulfill their tax obligations to ensure city authorities drive development in the metropolis.
Again, we do promise that this year, we as workers of KMA will be law-abiding. We will make sure that we do our work in a very religious manner. And we also urge the people within the metropolis to pay their taxes and pay it very well. Because without their contribution, it's going to be very difficult for us to get money to work. All major stakeholders, we want to work with the stakeholders, especially the media.
He also reviews plans to expand business operations in the metropolis to attract necessary investors for the development of the city.
We will talk about the operation Keep the City Clean and Green. It's going to be one major thing that this year we will work towards it. We also work towards decongesting the city. By so doing, we will just create a lot of enabling environment for the investors and for those who are working within the metropolis to be able to do their business in the best of their interest, in the best of interest of the whole people. What we are saying is that we will create the enabling environment, because out of the enabling environment that we will create, which is going to attract the investors to come into the city to come and invest. We have a lot of business opportunities, but all what we will be doing is that we will package it and showcase it to the world, and by so doing, we will attract a lot of investors to come.
Prince Apia reporting.
Away from Kumasi, CEO of local oil marketing company Petrosol, Michael Bozumbil, says the National Petroleum Authority (NPA) must continue to be tough in ensuring that safety standards are adhered to by all oil marketing companies in the country. Breach of safety compliance led to fire disasters at some gas stations in 2017, a situation which was placed mainly at the doorstep of the NPA. Sharing his thoughts with Joy Business on expectations for 2018, Michael Bozumbil called on all players to collectively work to meeting safety concerns in the industry.
2018, number 1, safety. Number 2, safety. Number 3, safety. Because this industry is not an industry that you just go in without understanding its implications. Petroleum products are highly flammable. And so any operator that wants to get into this industry must understand that he must place safety as a topmost priority. And that is why those of us who are committed to safety, we keep saying that do not allow other people who are not committed to safety to be, do not license them in the first place. Again, assuming you license an operator and that operator is not adhering to safety regulations, revoke the license. It's as simple as that. As operators, we would endeavor to improve upon our safety aspect of our operations. At the same time, we would want to seek the support of the community that do not lump all operators together and think all of us are operating in unsafe manner. No, because some of us invest so much in safety because we go through rigorous processes to construct fuel stations. We go through rigorous processes to make sure that we serve you the product in safe manner. And so whenever there's an accident somewhere, do not panic and begin to brand all other fuel stations as time bombs. What you have to do is to find out from the regulatory agencies, because they do regular inspections and they have records of stations that have top-notch safety measures in place. And so once you check with the regulatory agencies and you are sure that the necessary safety measures have been put in place, rest assured and patronize the facility.
Meanwhile, Michael Bozumbil says deregulation of the petroleum downstream sector will yield the desired results when illegal fuel traders are eventually flushed out of the system. Currently, oil marketing companies are bearing the brunt of the implementation of the deregulation policy because illegal operators are evading taxes and making gains. According to Mike Bozumbil, the NPA must do more in 2018 to stop the undue competition between genuine and illegal fuel trading, which he says is undermining the downstream sector.
Within the context of its implementation as a policy is not bad at all. You see, yes, you may have the cedi depreciating, but you'd notice that in recent times, the increment is always minimal. Unlike in previous years when you would wait and see 20%, 30%, increase. That's this, automatically, distorts your finances. So that aspect, I think, collectively as a country, I think that's the way to go. However, what is affecting industry is that you have a system whereas others are going by the deregulation policy and doing the genuine thing, some other people are allowed to flout the rules and evade taxes, because the tax component of the ex-pump price that the consumer pays is about 50% of the cost. So meanwhile, the OMC's margin is just about 5%. So if someone evades the tax, it means the person can lower his price, and still make significant, profit. So the genuine operator, even if the genuine operator gives all his margin, that 5%, he cannot compete with the person who has, evaded the taxes. So if government enforces that and makes sure that the security agencies, arrest people who are evading taxes and distorting, the market, then I think we'll all be fine.
In another development, the National Petroleum Authority says prices of LPG and petrol will remain stable in the month of January. According to the NPA, the move is in line with drop in crude and petroleum prices at the world market, as well as stability in the exchange rate of the cedi. The authority also reminds the public it has equally activated the price stabilization and recovery levy to stem potential upward adjustment in the price of diesel. In a statement, the NPA assures of its commitment to monitor the situation in order to ensure the full benefit of the reduction is felt. This means that petrol will remain at 12 pesos per litre, while diesel and LPG prices will continue to sell at 3 pesos per litre. So live on Business Live, time now to go for our interview of the day. And CEO of Dauphin Finance, Frank Kwachi, has been offering some advice on how people should manage their finances right after recording excessive expenditures patterns during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. It has become a normal feature for people to go financially broke and have resort to borrowing from various sources to cushion themselves in order to survive the month of January. Frank Kwachi says people must look at borrowing from family and friend sources first before looking outside.
Interview of the day.
Finances, I always say that it's your responsibility. And I think a week ago I was advising that Christmas, just spend what you have. But remember that January, you still live. So you then have to plan it in such a way that you always want to leave some money for January. More especially, why do I say that? People that might have been tempted to use their credit card in December to do the Boxing Day sales and other things, the bills will come in January. So you then have to set some money aside to make those payments.
In this situation, this person has already spent everything, and what should he be doing right now? Where should he turn to? Should he go to the employer? Should he go to family and friends? That is, if they are even willing to give. How should that person who is cash trapped or whatever, what should that person be doing right now?
Well, I always say that if it is money that is for your upkeep and for other things and not for major commitments and other things, the first place to start with is maybe your employer, if that opportunity is there to borrow from your employer. Why do I say that? Because the cost of borrowing from your employer, it's always at a concessionary rate. You don't really pay the real cost of the funds, because they might be looking at it as part of your benefits that they are giving you. But that said, if that opportunity is not there and the expenditures or the commitments that you have to meet are life-threatening and they are critical, then you might have to look for a financial institution to take the money from. But coming to that also, you just have to then maybe go to your bankers, and if you've kept a good credit history, they might be able to help you out. Or you look out for maybe these finance houses and savings and loans who do personal loans. Those who do payroll lending might be people that you can easily walk to and get some comfort or some relief.
Interview of the day.
And time now to wrap up on the very first edition of Business Live for the year 2018. It's been great having you on board, and of course we have more for you this year, but you can still log on to our website www.myjoyonline.com for more interesting developments in the world of business. And of course, one of the issues making headlines on the website is that AFDB achieves 100% investment in green energy projects in 2017. So you can log on to that story for the details. That's it. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Biafe. Once again, Happy New Year.